Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we're diving into something that is one of my biggest passions, and that is drawing fantasy creatures. But how do you design your own? How do you come up with something original, and how do you make it believable? And that is what I want to talk to you about today, so that after watching this video you'll be able to design your own creatures and also make them convincing. I'll be sharing 10 of my favorite tips while you can watch a time-lapse of me drawing, so let's get started! The first tip is start with a mood board. Think of it as your playground of ideas. A mood board is just a collection of pictures that inspire your drawing, like shapes, textures, but also pictures of anatomy of animals and photos of animals that you want to implement in your design, before you even put your pencil to paper. For example, before I designed the dragon that I'm drawing now, this was my mood board. For this mood board I used 3 stock photo sites like Pexels or Pixabay, so I can show it in my video. I also have a collection of photos that I have taken myself. But if you're gonna use Google Images or Pinterest, keep in mind that most photos are copyrighted. You can of course still use them as inspiration as long as the photos aren't recognizable. You can't directly draw the photo if you intend to post or sell it without permission of the photographer. So if you worry about that, use free stock footage and you're good to go. But the more experienced you've become, you can take inspiration from several images and mix them together in a way that you create something entirely new. Tip number 2. Ask yourself, what kind of creature is it? Think about the role your creature plays in this world. Does it fly, swim, live in caves? Each of these choices influences its design. A flying creature, for example, might have lightweight bones, large wings and a streamlined body. A cave dweller might have big eyes to see in the dark, or no eyes at all, relying on the other senses. A sea creature would have fins, scales or even glow-in-the-dark features, like the angler of an anglerfish. When you decide on how it moves and survives, you automatically get clues about its anatomy, and you can search pictures of animals that have the same features. Tip number 3. Borrow from real animals. You don't need to invent everything from scratch. Dragons, griffins, unicorns, they are all built from real-world references. Take inspiration from animals you love. Maybe you borrow the strong horns of a ram, the fins of a lionfish, and the neck of a swan. When you mix these elements, you end up with something new, but still believable. Nature already solved a lot of design problems for us, so why not use it? I love going to museums about natural history because they show a lot of evolution and you can look at the skeletons for anatomy. A lot of my reference photos come from museums like that. Tip number 4 is think about the environment. Every creature belongs somewhere. That place shapes its body, its colors and even its behavior. If your creature lives in the desert, maybe it's small and lean with pale colors to blend into the sand. If it's from a dense forest, it might have patterns that mimic leaves or bark. A mountain creature could have thick fur, claws for climbing or wide hooves for stability. You don't even have to draw the entire environment, just add small hints. A few rocks, broken branches or tiny plants around the creature give the viewer a sense of where it belongs. For example, in this sketch I draw tiny fish and bubbles, which immediately tells you that this creature lives in a marine environment. Tip number 5 is exaggerate the features. With fantasy creatures you can do whatever you want, so you can go bigger, stranger and bolder. If you want the creature to look intimidating, exaggerate its claws, teeth or size. If you want it to be cute, make the eyes large and the head rounder. Push those features beyond realism and you can always tone them down later if it feels too much. Exaggeration is what makes the creature stand out, but you might need some practice on that. Use one reference photo and try to draw the animal with a different exaggerated feature each time. Tip number 6. Add personality. Your creature isn't just a design, it's a character. And characters have personalities. Ask yourself, is this creature shy and curious? Is it fierce and aggressive? gentle and wise, then think about how that personality shows up in its body language. For example, a shy creature might hunch or keep its tail wrapped close. A proud regal creature might stand tall with its wings spread wide. Personality makes the design feel alive, instead of just being a collection of paths. Number 7. Play with texture and detail. Texture is another tool to make your creature feel unique. Smooth skin, rough scales, fluffy fur, all of these change the viewer's impression. Think about how textures can match your environment. A swamp creature might be slimy and covered in moss. Details don't have to be complicated. Sometimes a few scratches, patterns or scars are enough to hint at a creature's story. And very close to that is tip number 8. Tell a story through your design. Good designs often hint at a story. Is your creature a guardian, a scavenger, or a companion? You can show that through scars, jewelry, battle armor, or even potion. For example, adding a broken horn immediately makes you wonder what happened to it, and a chain around its neck might suggest captivity. And these tiny story elements, they can really make your creature very interesting to the viewer. And tip number 9 is redraw it more than once. Don't settle for the first version. The first drawing is often just a warm-up. Redrawing lets you refine proportions, fix awkward anatomy and add new ideas. Sometimes my third or fourth attempt looks completely different from my first sketch, and that's a good thing. Evolution is part of the process, so don't be afraid to let your creature change as you draw it again and again. And the last tip, number 10, experiment with color. If you're moving beyond black and white sketches, color opens up a whole new level of design. Think about camouflage. Does your creature need to hide in its environment or stand out to attract mates or scare off predators? Bright and natural colors can make a design feel magical, while muted tones can make it feel realistic and grounded. You can try out several color schemes, or maybe if you're more like me, try to experiment with one color only, or use gray tones to give the drawing a more dark fantasy vibe. And of course, a drawing in just black and white is still very awesome, but with color you can change the entire mood of a drawing, so it's a fun thing to experiment with. And that was it. Those were my favorite tips on designing fantasy creatures, and I hope that now after watching this video you have a better understanding on how to make your own original designs and make them alive and believable. If you want to go even more in depth, I do have a Patreon with real-time tutorials. I'll put a link in the description. And if you want to support my channel, the easiest way to do that is just watch another one of my videos. So make sure to subscribe, like and hype this one, and I thank you for watching and I'll see you with the next one.